I'm Chelsea Zaccato.
And I'm Natalie Heacock.
And this is Lumber Slingers.
Each podcast, we will be bringing you relevant and useful industry information, including interviews with top lumber professionals and discussion of current events in the industry.
Whether it be lumber grading, industry and market trends, or who's who in lumber, we hope to extend your current tally on industry knowledge.
Hi, Chels.
Good morning.
Good morning. We're so excited to have Shelby Cherry with us today. Hi, Shelby.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good. This is her very first podcast, so
Woohoo.
that's even more exciting.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yes. Will you tell our listeners what you do and why you're here?
Sure. I am the show director for the International Mass Timber Conference, and we are in go mode over here. We're about 3 weeks out from the show. It's coming up in Portland, March 31st through April 2nd. So we are just right on the heels of convening once again, although it feels like we were just together, the three of us in Portland, like yesterday.
It does feel like it went fast. How many attendees are attending this year?
So we are planning for about 3,400. We've got over 225 exhibitors represented in the expo hall. And it is also our 10th anniversary. So lots of really special, cool things happening this year.
Yes, I was going to bring up the 10-year thing. That's really cool. Because do you know off the top of your head how many attendees were at the first year?
I do. It was, my mind's cluttered with useless trivia, but this one I do know off the top of my head. We started out with just a few hundred attendees. There were about 500. Craig, Arnie, and Tom, who founded the conference, were only expecting a couple hundred, and they had 500 people show up back in 2016. At the very first event. So we have seen just amazing growth, and we just can't believe that we're celebrating a decade.
Yeah, that's amazing. You, okay, now tell us about, I wanted to get into the tours because that was one of my favorite parts of last year. So tell us a little bit about what's planned for this year for the tours.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. This is one of my favorite things that happens during the week. Okay, so we've got 4 brand new tours that are taking place this year. And unfortunately for anyone watching, 3 out of the 4 are already completely sold out, but I do have seats left on one of our tours. Our first tour is the Columbia River Tour. It's going to Astoria. If you guys are not familiar with Astoria, it is just a gem of a city on the coast of Oregon, about 2 hours outside of Portland. This is our forestry tour. They're also going to the Columbia Maritime Museum in Astoria. It's a really wonderful, wonderful site tour of both of these locations. We have a tour number 2 is our Southeast Metro tour, and we have a single family home on this tour, and then we're going to Souder Timber, and we're going to the East County Library, and tour 3 is Willamette Valley. You can tell I know these because I'm doing this off the top of my head, by the way. Tour 3 is the Willamette Valley tour, and this tour is going down south to OSU. We've got 2 different stops at the OSU campus to see an MPP prototype, as well as the Huang building that's under construction there.
Ooh,
and then we're doing lunch at Timber Labs CLT production facility in Millersburg, which, if you're not familiar with that space, it is incredible. And it is just kind of out in the middle of the countryside and just a beautiful, beautiful production facility all around. And then tour number 4 is our Best of Portland tour, just going to 4 different areas in the metro area of the city, showcasing the best and brightest projects that are happening in the city of Portland. So tour 2, 3, and 4 are already sold out completely, but we do have some spots left on the one going out to Astoria.
Wow. And last year, were there 3?
There were 5 tours last year.
Oh, there was.
There were. We had a handful. We had just so many projects submitted that we could not decide which ones to cut. So we just decided to just include all of them. And this year, we really wanted to focus on brand new content, brand new sites. And for those that come every year, we wanted to make sure we were taking people to the newest and greatest and brightest facilities and projects happening, just to, continue the evolution of the show and the industry.
Wow. That's awesome. So maybe for some people who don't know, who attends this conference? Who can attend this conference?
Yeah, great question. So we like to say that this is for everyone in the supply chain. So it starts with the forest and goes all the way to the end of the product. So our attendees tend to be anywhere in that space. It's architects, it's construction professionals, general contractors, it's foresters, it's sustainability consultants and professionals. Anyone that AEC community would probably find value in this event. Anyone that is looking for sustainable building options and interested in that space would also find a lot of value in not only the exhibitors, but also the education that we're offering throughout the week.
We didn't have a chance to do a bunch of the education last time. We did the tours and then we did the floor. And
Mhm.
so I'm hoping this time that we can do a little bit more of the education piece of it.
For sure. And, I will say this year we have one of the strongest education programs that I have seen since I have been a part of this event. This will be my third International Mass Timber Conference. And since I've been a part of this show, this is the strongest educational program that we have been able to deliver. We have 5 different tracks taking place on Wednesday and Thursday, and we have a morning time slot and an afternoon time slot in each of those 5 sessions. So it's a lot of content taking place over Wednesday and Thursday. All of the sessions we're offering audio recordings that are synced up to the PowerPoint slides this year. So if you have a full pass and you can only go to 1 or 2 sessions, you can catch the rest of them after the show even too, just to extend the value, because we know it is a lot to try to take in and to fit in just a 3-day period. So we try to make sure that we're providing some good value and making sure everyone gets the value out of the content. And we can talk a little bit too in a minute about our keynotes, because we are especially excited about what we've got planned for the keynotes this year.
That's what I love about you guys. I feel like you're so forward thinking. You're like a forward thinking conference and being able to like the technology and bringing in podcasters and everything. I just feel like you really focus on making it very relevant and useful, and you think of the attendees' experience.
Well, thanks. We certainly try, and we try to take feedback from those that are attending the show every year. We take it really seriously. We have an education committee every year that's made up of their volunteers from all different facets of the industry that weigh in on the content and the trends, and they help guide our content curation process to make sure that we are capturing what we need to keep the conference relevant and keep it progressive and at the forefront of the industry the best that we can.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. And let's talk about it's in Portland every year. Why Portland?
Well, great question too. We feel like Portland is just the epicenter of the mass timber movement. It is just where so much mass timber is happening. Not only do you have the forests there in Portland, you've got all of the manufacturing facilities that are around the metro area. You've got more mass timber projects that are popping up around that area than almost any other metropolitan space in the country. From a practical standpoint, Portland is relatively easy to get to from like an airlift perspective. It's easy for people to fly into. And PDX has one of the largest mass timber projects in the country. And it's like the most stunning airport I think I have ever been in. And so we just think it is the perfect place and the perfect host to have this show. We are committed to Portland and committed to continuing the show in Portland for the foreseeable future. Although there's always talks about, could we do a little something somewhere else some days? But, we're committed to the Portland area for sure. And we love Portland.
Well,
It's
we
just
love
neat.
that. Makes it
Yeah.
easy for us to get
Yeah.
to, me and that.
For sure.
But
It's
it
easy when it's in
just-
your backyard.
Sets the tone if you are flying in to come through the airport. It really sets the tone
It
for the
does.
conference and for the week and the learning. And you could do a tour in the airport. I mean, just the finish sections, even.
We've done tours at the airport the last 2 years and toured attendees through the finished projects, as well as some
Okay.
of the behind the scenes of the construction, the phase 2 that's happening at PDX. It's not quite public yet. So we love the PDX airport. We just think it is stunningly beautiful. And we just cannot brag on that project enough.
Yeah. Chelsea and I are very excited for phase 2 to be done. Preferably hoping that the Alaska Airlines lounge is included in phase 2. I'm not
Yeah.
certain on that, but it feels like it should be, and I really hope it is.
Awesome. Fingers crossed for you for
Yes,
sure.
fingers crossed. So, let's talk about the keynote.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is another one of my favorite things that's happening this year. So we've got 3 really strong keynotes happening this year. Starting with Tuesday, we've kind of started this concept of doing some education on Tuesday to really extend the week and provide more education, not just in Wednesday, Thursday, but also kicking things off on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, we not only have the tours taking place, but in the afternoon, we have a new keynote. This is going to be really fun. So we're calling it the boardroom from pitch to capital, and it's our version of Shark Tank. So we have a
Ooh.
group of institutional investors that are going to be our sharks, and they will be on stage and they will be hearing 15-minute pitches from developers who have real mass timber projects where they are seeking capital. And the audience is going to get to hear the back and forth, the banter, the conversation in hopes of these developers securing investment for their projects live. And
This
so
is
we've got
awesome.
a moderator who has she has a great personality. She's going to make it really entertaining and fun. We have some fun personalities from the Sharks and great personalities with the developers. And this session is going to be informative. It's going to be engaging. It's going to be entertaining, kind of all at once. So you may have seen some things about the boardroom on social media. We're really excited about this. We've been trying to do this for several years, and it just kind of the stars aligned this year. So it's also a session. It's 2 to 4 on Tuesday afternoon, and it's one where you don't have to be there the whole time. You can pop in and hear a couple of pitches, and then pop out if you need to attend a meeting or something like that. The tour attendees, 3 out of 4 tours will be back in time to see at least a portion of the ballroom too. So we designed it in a way that you could get a little bit out of it, or you could sit there the whole 2 hours and hear all the pitches if you're super into it. But definitely one for bookmarking and for planning to attend. And
That's so fun.
it's going to
It's so
be
fun.
really fun. I love the banner on the TV show, so I can't imagine how this is going to shape up in real life. We've had a lot of fun behind the scenes prepping the investors and prepping the developers for the conversations. So if you guys are there in time on Tuesday, definitely check the boardroom out.
I want to
Okay.
see that only because also you never get to see in my side of the industry. I don't get to see that part of it, and so
Right.
I don't even know what they talk about or what are investors looking for, what makes it look attractive, and all the other pieces that go into something like this. It would be really interesting learning experience.
For
So
sure.
I hope we can make part of that.
I do too. And we've got a variety of projects. So we've got like a single family project, we've got a multifamily project, we've got a commercial project. So we kind of tried to mix it up
Ooh.
and do some different things to kind of showcase what all's out there. And these are all really strong projects. I think we've got a couple that are actually international projects too, and then a
Oh, wow.
couple that are happening
Wow.
here in the US. So really fun,
Are
kind of
any
progressive and different.
Are any of the investors, do you have somebody that is like a Mr. Wonderful or like a Mark Cuban or like, have they taken on their own personalities yet, or you have a preview into that?
I don't know. I don't have a preview on who's who yet. I think we're gonna have to watch it in person and see if we can connect the dots there between who we think is the Mark Cuban of the group. And I don't know if there's gonna be a Mr. Wonderful, but it sure would be fun if there was.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
gotta be. I'm
There
gonna
gotta be.
peg Jonathan Pierce. He kind of looks like he might be a Cuban, might be a Mr. Wonderful. We'll have to see.
I love it. That's too funny. Too funny.
That's very exciting. So that's on Tuesday. What else do we
Yep.
have coming for in terms of keynote?
Yeah. Okay. So Wednesday, we are equally excited about this one. We have Kingo Kuma coming to do the keynote. And if you're not familiar with him, he is a world-renowned architect. He's based in Japan. He's done some really high-level TED Talks, rarely does public speaking engagements. We've been chasing him, trying to get him to come speak at our show for years. Finally got on his calendar and finally made this happen. He was ranked, let me see, it was back in 2021. A Time magazine named him one of the 100 most influential people in the world. So
Wow.
he has had
Wow.
significant influence in the world of architecture. He did the Japanese gardens in Portland, which is a really,
Oh.
if you haven't been there, I mean, it's beautiful. And that was his design, and he's done very
Wow.
high level work across the globe. He's just going to be fantastic. And there's a lot of energy around having him just because of his reputation and the fact that he's a hard one to get. So we're very excited to have him as our opening moment.
That's awesome. And with the Portland tie of the Japanese gardens, that's really cool. It might inspire some people visiting town to also go check that out. It is such a beautiful place.
It is. So we're definitely excited about that one. And then on
I
Thursday,
feel like
oh, sorry, go ahead.
that's okay. Chelsea, didn't Patrick Lumber donate something to the
We didn't donate. We actually supplied one of our distribution partners supplied the job, and we supplied the Alaskan yellow cedar that was used for one of the structures in the Japanese gardens,
Oh, cool.
which is like the main. It's like the main building up at the top when you get to the top of the garden. So there's probably a tie there as well with his architecture and Patrick Lumber. That's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
That's really cool. Great tie-in.
See,
I knew there was
everybody's connected
something.
somewhere. If you go
Yes.
through the airport, same thing. A lot of those companies that are going to be at the Mass Timber Conference, whether it's architects, builders, lumber manufacturers, tribes,
Contractor.
they're all represented at the Mass Timber Conference, which is so cool. The
Super
melting
cool.
pot.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, then we got Thursday keynote.
Yep. And then Thursday, we have an excellent panel plan called Big Tech, Big Timber, the next decade of sustainable innovation. And we have sustainability executives from Meta and Amazon that'll be on
Wow.
stage, moderated by Dylan Cruz. He's the president of Sustainable Northwest. And the two companies will be discussing why mass timber was their material of choice for some large scale projects, their data centers, fulfillment centers. And some people don't know they're some of the biggest purchasers of mass timber in the globe with the sustainability initiatives each of their companies have. And we're not sure if they have ever been on stage together discussing things like this. So we're really excited about this one too. And I will tell you, I just got the planning call with this group. They are highly organized, entertaining, lively, and very, very dialed into this conversation and really passionate about their companies, their sustainability initiatives, and the projects that each of them are working on with their respective companies. I think this one's going to be a really, really fun and energizing discussion.
I mean, it's
Wow.
crazy. You hear about all these different conferences going on around the globe. Oftentimes I'm paying attention to my own industry, but there's, these shows in Vegas with, all of what is that show? CES or the
Yeah.
Consumer Electronics Show where there's a lot of new
SES.
technology. You never think lumber and Meta and Amazon are all going to meet together at a conference. You just don't think those two
You
things
don't.
belong together. So this is really cool. I think it's going to draw quite a crowd, honestly. I think there's going to be a lot of interest in that. So that one looks very interesting to
Yeah,
attend.
for sure. I agree. So yeah, 3 really strong keynotes, really strong education program. I really feel like this is just one of the strongest programs we've been able to bring to the industry. We just could not be more excited just to have everyone there and experience it.
It's
Yeah.
crazy to cram it all into 3 days. There's so much to do. It's like a kid in a candy store. I'm looking at the agenda. There's so much.
So I was
Go
looking
ahead.
at the agenda. Tell us about what it means. Like on the agenda, it has track 1, track 2, track 3.
Yeah, great question. So we do have so much education taking place that to make it easier for people to find the sessions that they are most interested in, we organize the conference program by tracks, and we try to group the information and the educational sessions by tracks, knowing that we have distinct audiences that are coming in. So we have one, designs and markets. It's more kind of the architectural space. We have the supply and supply chain. We have developer topics. And then we also have a track 5 that's advanced topics and case studies. This track I want to specifically call out. It's for those that have been in the industry a little bit longer and are maybe looking for some deeper, more technical information, and you'd see it kind of like a general session. This track 5 is specifically for those that are a bit more well-versed in mass timber to get that deeper level of education, sort of like a 301 class in college. When you're more of an upperclassman versus a freshman,
Yes.
it's kind of along those same lines. So we try to, organize things in a way people can find the right content that's most appealing to them.
That's a good question, Nat. And I see there's continuing education credits offered in a lot of these. That's cool.
Yes, all of our sessions are accredited by AIA, American Institute of Architects. They're all available for self-report. They have PDH credits, HSW credits. So we try to make it easy for those that are needing those kind of credits to be able to report those after the conference. We've got instructions on site about at the end of the sessions about how to report their credits and how to get those back over to AIA for the accreditation process. But yeah, we're really happy to be able to provide that credit for especially the architecture folks that are attending.
Yeah, you get a lot of bang for your buck here. If somebody wanted to attend just one day, can they do that, or do they need to attend all 3 days?
Yeah, we have day passes. So we have a Tuesday day pass, a Wednesday day pass, and a Thursday day pass. The one thing I will say that we don't have that's a little bit different from other conferences, we don't offer a pass just to come walk the expo floor. We feel that if you're going to come, you got to come to the education because that's where the meat of everything is. So everybody at our show is a conference attendee, even exhibitors. And it's kind of a difference between us and some of the other conferences where you see different pass types, expo only pass types, and booth staff only pass types. Everyone at IMTC is a conference attendee because we want everyone to be able to take part in the education.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That does make sense. Can we talk about you're wearing a shirt? And I do recall one of the events during the conference last year, Women in Timber. It's like a
Yes.
power hour, right? Can we talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about it. This is one of my favorite moments of the entire week. The Women in Timber Power Hour is happening this year on Thursday, 1 o'clock. It's going to be right after lunch. We've got some fun surprises planned for this year. You guys, this is just you guys were there last year, so you know firsthand just how amazing it is. Male-dominated industry to just take a moment and gather the ladies. And I am just always overwhelmed every year by how the ladies and the men championing the ladies show up for Women in Timber, with sponsors coming in to step up and help keep this event free for everyone to attend. The ladies showing up just so eager to network. The stories that come out of the networking that takes place in Women in Timber. We're expecting about 500 ladies again for this event.
Wow.
It is hugely popular. It's so popular we have to hold it out in the atrium because it's like one of the most big and wide open spaces, so we don't have to be constrained by any kind of attendance limitations. But it's going to be as awesome as ever. We've got a fun raffle that's taking place this year. We've got Girls Garage donated this huge gift basket for all of the attendees to raffle off. And the founder of Girls Garage was our keynote speaker back in 2024, Emily Peloton Lamb. Highly recommend Googling her and checking out some of her TED Talks and her speeches. She just has an incredible story, but she has continued to feed into this event too. And we're supporting the Society of American Foresters Minority Scholarship Fund this year with the proceeds from Women in Timber. It might be kind of interesting to note too that this event's a little bit different. We run this event as a nonprofit event. It's not like an event where we're looking to collect a lot of money and pocket a lot of money. We take the sponsorships that we sell for this event, we feed it back into the expenses for the event to cover our expenses to keep everything free for attendees. And when there's a surplus, we donate it back into the industry just because we want to keep the movement going. We feel like this is the best way we can. I've just been super blessed to be a part of this event with Whitney Geyer and Erin Anderson. They're the two pioneers and founders of this event, and they just have such an incredible vision for continuing this movement. And it's just been a real honor to kind of walk alongside of them and to help from the show's perspective bring their vision to life every year. But you guys are coming this year, right?
Yes, we will be
We
there.
are coming.
Awesome.
Will there be t-shirts?
There will be t-shirts. Okay, and here's the thing. We're going to hand them out at registration. So when you come and get your badge on, say, like Tuesday or Wednesday, get your t-shirt and wear it on Thursday. We want to see as many Women in Timber t-shirts on Thursday floating around as possible. We can get a big group picture during the reception too.
Yes. I was obsessed with that pink one. It looked like Barbie. It was like light pink and dark pink.
I almost wore that one today. I wore it earlier this week on a couple calls. So, but yeah, that's one of my favorite colors too. I won't spoil the color for this year because
I was going to ask,
we like to change it up, so it'll be a surprise. But we have a new logo this year, and the shirts are super cute. And I think you will both be very happy.
Okay.
Oh, I can't wait.
Well, then we can go home. Like you can get the shirt and then you know what it's going to be. So then when you come back to the event, then you can obviously, plan accordingly.
Totally. But yeah, Thursday, Women in Timber Day all day long.
Okay.
That's very exciting.
I have to just mention, and Chelsea, please help me remember, who was the exhibitor that had Aperol spritzes at their booth?
Oh my God, they were the best. It was an Italian, bath fitter. Was he bath fitting? Yeah.
Yes, that would be Bath Systems. Ricardo from Bath Systems. We planned the Aperol Spritz bar for months. We heard it was a great success.
Oh, it was amazing.
It was amazing. I have not heard if it's coming back this year, but I'll find out for you.
Yeah, send him a nudge.
Yeah.
I'll let him know that the Lumber Slingers have requested that the Aperol Spritz bar make another appearance.
Yes,
Please.
that was definitely a highlight of that day. That was fun.
Well,
For sure.
especially when you're like walking the floor all day, you're in learning sessions, you're like, exhausted, and then there's just an Aperol spritz that appears on the floor.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like magic.
It was magic.
Yes.
It was magic.
Yes.
I
There
will
was
have to say
another
for go
sorry,
ahead.
there was another like craft cocktail. Did you guys check that one out last year? It had like a little rosemary sprig, and it was some kind of had a fun name about the conference in exhibitors booth, and it was very lovely as well after a long day.
I don't remember.
I
I
didn't
think
have
we were
it.
so obsessed with that Aperol spritz. We were like, let's get one now and drink it, and then let's get one for our walk, and then one to sit with. So we were like, we drank one and then we double fisted.
Because he also, he was very particular, and because he made them perfect.
was.
They were perfectly made.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yes.
Now, were these Aperol spritzes before or after the podcast recording that you guys did?
That was after the
After.
podcast was first.
No judgment. It's a long day. We get it.
Yeah. Which we were talking. We're like, okay, where are we going to record this year? We had the best time at Ferris booth. They're so sweet to let us
They're so
record
nice.
there. We were talking like maybe we should record like upstairs on one of like the double decker
Ooh,
structures.
that would be really cool. We've got probably a dozen big structures coming in this year. Last year, it kind of felt like a mass timber building contest when we walked out on the show floor, and it felt like everybody went bigger and higher than 2024. So we do have some cool
Ooh.
booths that are coming in this year. I bet we can find you a place to perch on
Yes.
somebody's
Yeah, perch.
second floor to do a quick recording.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
let
had
us know
fun
what you
at
think.
the Steelworkers booth.
They had a cool one.
Yeah. They're doing a double decker again this year. That could be a fun option.
I think we told them they needed to add a hot tub because theirs felt like really like moody in a good way. Like the
Yeah.
lighting was really cool.
So
And, you know,
Aperol spritzes, hot tubs.
Hot tubs. It's the mixture of the iron with the wood. It's like the textures and the warmth of the wood with the iron. I
Yes.
get that. We tried to do this cool activation with a sauna and hot tub that was made out of mass timber. It didn't end up coming to fruition, but we thought it was really interesting, but we couldn't figure out when people actually want to get in a sauna in the middle of a trade show floor. It was a big point of discussion
Yeah.
internally for us, but I think the hot tub could be interesting.
I would be curious if you had a sauna there, if people would.
You
get
know,
in it.
anybody coming from Finland would. They'd be like,
Yes,
yeah,
they would.
yeah.
Just, this
have
is
a quick
normal.
one after my meeting.
Yeah.
Maybe something to look into for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always innovating.
Always
Always
innovating for
innovating.
sure. Yeah.
So
I will
if-
say that I just wanted to mention for anybody who's on the fence about going, personally, Natalie and I, and professionally, made so many connections at the last show that have really come to fruition in the last year, whether it's support with our, some of our media type stuff or finding grants and connecting to the right people. There have been a lot of really positive things that came out of connecting even with suppliers at the Mass Timber Conference. So it was a very fruitful, we were there to record podcasts, but we got a lot out of it as well. And it seems like it just keeps paying off the first time that we went. So if you're on the fence about it, not only that, but you come away with this inspiration that when you walk into that floor and you see what can happen with mass timber and how creative people are and how excited they are about the movement, just seeing it in real life and seeing it being used in all these different ways is just, it's inspiring. And it's really fun to see all these people come together in one place, and you walk away with a lot of ideas and a lot of connections.
Right. And if you're on the fence, go listen to the episode we recorded on the show floor. And then we also had Judith Shine from not OSU, U of O.
U of O.
Tall Lab Institute. She's part of the Tall Lab Institute, I believe is what it was called. And that was a very cool podcast. I learned so much just in that one podcast. I feel like Chelsea and I were like, our jaws were like dropped the whole time. We're like, you're doing what with mass
Yeah.
timber?
Yeah.
We're blown away. It's tall wood.
Tallwood. Yeah. And she
Tallwood.
is lovely, so smart. Tallwood is doing their interactive design pavilion on the show floor again this year. They always do something just really cool and progressive that's hands-on. So make sure you guys stop by their booth again this year. Judith will be there, and they'll be doing
Oh, good.
something that you can do with your hands. They always do something that's interactive for people to kind of come up and see and touch and feel, that's very experiential with that pavilion, that space. And it's always just something that just blows my mind.
That's awesome. Yeah, actually, Natalie, do you want to talk about who we're sponsoring to come to the show this year a little bit?
Yeah.
Yes, it's very exciting. Lumber Slingers Podcast is sponsoring a student to go to the show, and her name is Nevaeh, and she is at Portland State University in architecture.
Yeah, she's an architecture student and she's looking for a summer internship. So, if you want to be connected, send us an email and we can connect you with her. She's going to come to the show. So, she's going to be networking away. She's going to go to the Women in Timber Power Hour with us. And we're really excited to see it from a student architect perspective as well. We're going to interview her and see kind of what her experience was.
For sure. That's just so awesome. I love that you guys are sponsoring her and just creating a path for her to come and to experience everything. I hope she gets so much out of it and just sees all the potential that's to come with her field and career opportunities. And I hope she makes great connections. I can't see her not making great connections at the show, but I hope that it's just such a worthwhile experience for her.
Yeah,
Very
when
exciting.
I first met her and heard that she was an architect student, I was like, have you heard about mass timber? Do you know anything about mass? Do they talk about it in school? It's interesting, like what materials do they talk about in school? And do you have a lot of students that attend the mass timber conference?
We do. We have a fair amount across the board that come. We've got a contingency all the way down from Texas that's coming and bringing
Wow.
about 25 students. So the students are a big part of the conference, and it's something that we try to invest in every year. We have a special student rate. We know it's still a little bit expensive, but the passes for the Mass Timber Conference are a little bit expensive anyway. But we try to make a really deep discount to make a path. They're the next generation, so they are an incredibly valuable audience. Make sure you tell, is it Nevaeh? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Make sure you tell her that we have this big academic report called the International Mass Timber Report. We usually publish it annually. It's a really technical, almost like an academic textbook that's filled with case studies and technical information about mass timber. We've got some copies left over from last year that we're bringing to the show to give away. They retail on Amazon for about $100 each. So make sure she swings by registration, and anyone else too. Anyone with a badge is able to pick one of these up and grab one before you leave. They're an incredibly valuable resource, and we want to make sure that they get to hands that will appreciate and use the information that is in there. It's a really, really great resource for those like her that are in the architecture field.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll make sure to mention that to her.
Yeah. So I guess before we wrap up, is there anything else that we didn't cover that someone should know or expect if they're coming into the conference this year?
Great question. I would say if you have been to the conference before, expect some new things. We have done some fun projects. I'm not going to spoil any of the surprises to make the conference feel very fresh and very new for this year, down to small details. So just be prepared for some fun surprises and come ready to celebrate. It's going to be a fun week filled with tons of networking, great education, lots of exhibitors. One thing we haven't talked about, we do provide full breakfast and lunch for everybody on Wednesday and Thursday as part of the conference package. Breakfast starts bright and early at 6:30 in the morning and goes right up until the morning keynotes start. Use the breakfast and the lunchtime for meetings. We intentionally set the dining hall with we fill it with tables and chairs, and we leave it open throughout the day, even when there's not food being served in there, so that everyone can use that space to host meetings. Everyone's always looking for a place to sit down and maybe have a quick conversation when they're at a trade show. So I would say just be prepared for your time and make a plan before you get there so that you accomplish what you want to do. We make it easy with some tools online you can create a little account on our website with our exhibitor directory, make a plan for exhibitors you want to see, download the mobile app. It's going live next week. We've got live messaging with all of the conference participants. So starting next week, you can connect with anyone registered for the show and message them even before you get there. Use those tools to your advantage as networking opportunities as part of the value of the conference. But
Definitely.
it's gonna be a really memorable week, and we can't wait to see everyone there.
So exciting. And thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like the 1 month countdown to come talk to us about this incredible event. We want to get the word out. We want people to register and attend and not miss this show. It's grown into something so incredible after 10 years. So, congratulations to the conference for making it for a decade and for many
Yes.
more to come. We're excited to see what happens.
Well, thank you, and thanks so much for the opportunity just to be here and to talk about the show. I appreciate it, and certainly looking forward to seeing you both in a couple weeks.
Yes. See you in a few
See you
weeks.
in a few weeks.